Welcome to the bonus part of Thousand Year Door. I did say I was not going to skip that at all, just that I wasn't able to find the right timing to until now. Welcome to that. You already know what we did in the last time that we've played through this game, which was we defeated Waka. But I said that I was going to do a bonus part of which I'm going to be doing three things: reacting to the art, battling every boss, and then the OSTs in the end. My expectation for how long I thought this would take, but now I'm thinking it's going to take half that, is 2 hours. But because of all of the bosses and all, I think it won't take me as long as I thought it would. Fair warning, sorry to spoil this in the future already, I forgot to save after battling against one of the bosses. But it's not that big a deal. It's not much of a big deal because how many star points I would have had at that point is 99. So it would take me battling against enemies real quick to level up one more time, but what level I am is level 37. Originally level 36, but thanks to the pin on the trials, I'm one level higher. Before I react to the art stuff, I'm going to state my honest opinion about this game, and you've already known because I've talked a lot about Thousand Year Door already. But a few parts of this is going to be repetitive, and then it's just what I said in the beginning of the game, along with what I thought in the end. That Thousand Year Door was a very good Paper Mario game, but can I say that in my honest opinion, I'm hoping that this game is not the last one. I'm hoping that the Thousand Year Door is not the final Paper Mario game they have planned before the stupid cryptocurrency takes over. Now, I'm gonna say it, that is exactly what I'm hoping for. That they don't do that. Like, that they don't make a new Paper Mario game as soon as that happens. I'll despise Nintendo for that, if they do that. Because Nintendo will likely keep going no matter what, but still, we'll definitely hope that it won't be that way. Done a good job on showing what is good and what is bad, along with all the biblically accurate final bosses these days. But in this game, in general, just like in the original, it was pretty much referencing some sort of Darkness of the Deep deal. And that was really cool. How they had that, and then once you defeated it, it was done. They wouldn't be seeing it again. And if you see this as a spoiler, then you obviously don't know. And I'm going to go back to the title screen, hence why I'm going to exit, because the bonus part will be the thumbnail of the title screen. But I'm not doing the book. Because we have completed the game, and that's funny because I stayed in my level and here I am now. Check out how long it took me to complete this game. It actually took me 46 hours because of Prince Mush. It took me like 48 hours, or even 50, because of all the cuts and stuff. So, I have no idea. Oh, I saved on the nostalgic tunes. That's what I was confused. It was that I saved on nostalgic tunes and I didn't take these off. I love the nostalgic tunes, and I originally was going to stream LP this game again with nostalgic tunes on. Just that the only difference is that I won't be 100%ing Thousand Year Door on the stream LP. And the reason why is because the only thing I would 100% is the star pieces and shine sprites. The rest I wouldn't do because it requires actual audio. And I won't be doing the pit on the trials on there either. So it's a very iffy decision. But I still love this game. I originally loved Super Paper Mario, but as soon as I got this game, I was very sure I was going to love this game more. And I do. This game is a very nice game, even if it doesn't have as many recipes as Super Paper Mario does. If anything, Super Paper Mario has the most recipes ever in the entirety. Like, even more than both this and Paper Mario combined. I think it has so many recipes, that many to be sure. Now, I'm sorry to do this wrong, but I still wanted to show it off for the trial stew as well. I forgot that the trial stew refills star points. It makes your FP go down to 0, your HP go down to 1, but refills every star point, even if you have none. Even if you had none, I mean. So, the best decision there would have been to use the trial stew along with Rally Wink for Goombella, because then that would have helped a lot. But what I thought it did was got your HP down to 1 and raise your attack up by as many times as how much HP you would lose. I was definitely wrong there, and that how the heck the people got so much attack is beyond me. Because I still don't know what they did for that. It's probably all or nothing and one other thing, but I just can't figure that out. Because I know it's not a hack. They do get their attack to go up very high, but I just can't figure out how. It's with all of the OP items stuff. The dumb thing is that, in all honest opinion, Wacka is actually the second hardest boss in the game. Prince Mush is the hardest, because unless you know how to super guard, he's invincible in the third, in like the third part of the battle, a third of the battle, I might as well say. So much, I would say, for what I love about this game, but I would only say tiny bits of what I dislike. The only one, and one of the only ones, is the frame rate. The frame rate being slow of a 30 instead of a 60. The GameCube version was a 60, but this game was a 30. The reason why it made sense to me, unless it's 60 and not 30. I don't know why I thought it was 30 for a moment. Was this game 60 or 30? I thought for some instance that was a 30 FPS and that original games were like 60. But now I think about it, I think it was 60 and not 30. Because I think all games were like 120 FPS, but Pokemon games, I think Legend ZA is 240 FPS. I might be wrong, but that's just my guess. I don't actually know. So, guessing 60 instead of I almost said 80, instead of 30, still pretty dang slow. I keep on wanting to scroll down on, scrolling down there. I was scrolling down on my actual computer. So, yeah, that's one of the only dislikes. The only other dislike I have is that Infomouse guy. He was unnecessary. He was just the extra help for quests in case people these days were like kids not knowing how the quest works. But I knew how the quests work. And that if you didn't know, then you would have had to like talk to the certain NPCs again. And you already know my least favorite quest was that quest of picking up dirty laundry, because that was dumb. I really hated that side quest, even if it seemed obvious, but I just still hated it. And yet my most favorite quest in the game was, for one, the Luigi quest, and for another, the hot sauce quest. And I'd say, reasonably enough, the most tedious part of Dousing Your Door was the recipes. But what wouldn't be? This Super Paper Mario LP was me trying to get every recipe along with getting every shop point in order to get the Wacka card. But I got the Wacka card even before I got the Wacka card from the shop. And that sort of ruined it because I thought it was impossible to get it unless you get every shop point. But in this game as well, getting 300 shop points gives you a gold bar times 3, but I'm not going to do that grind. Because it's not like Super Paper Mario at all. I'm not going to grind just to get a rare item that I can just purposely buy but not save. And then the only other thing is that I really enjoyed everything. Just, it was so nostalgic. All of the new stuff along with the shortcuts was so much better because the GameCube version doesn't have that. Doesn't have the shortcuts that lead to other places. Well, Thousand Year Door did, and that's even better. Because imagine looking for star pieces and having to go all the way back to that chapter without using those shortcut pipes. That would have been a pain. It would have made the game last like maybe 60 hours instead of, and I wouldn't even do any extended cutscenes. And plus, the way to 100% the game is different that time, where you would have to do the pivot on the trials once instead of twice. Or technically twice if you're doing the side quest, but not go through the whole thing twice. Well, yeah, in total twice. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just stating this, that the Thousand Year Door, for all of that, it was a rather enjoyable experience. So yeah. Why I wanted to put those thoughts out was because I felt like if I reacted to the art while expressing my thoughts for this game, it would be hard for me to do both. So that's why I'm expressing my thoughts first before doing the art reactions. And finally, before I do that, favorite chapter and least favorite chapter in this game. I don't know for the least favorite, but for the most favorite, Chapter 3 is very close. Chapter 5 is my most favorite because of Cortez. Cortez is so fun. Chapter 7 is very close second. And then Chapter 5 is my most favorite. Chapter 7 is my close second, and then Chapter 3 is my third most favorite. Chapter 1 being fourth. So all of the even numbered chapters were not as hype as the odd numbered ones. And I would say that in the middle, Chapter 8, because it's not necessarily a least favorite chapter, it's a thing that makes most sense for a final chapter. Every final chapter shouldn't really be a disliked chapter because of how long they are, but because of layouts. But that's the thing. The only least favorite final chapter I have in a Paper Mario game is in Sticker Star, because that was just short and lame with 2 boss battles and an obstacle course. That is until you defeat Kamek, then it's just an obstacle course and then going to Bowser. At least Color Splash, only for the first time, had so much more to it. Just that now with my gamepad, I'm very glad I've only done the Color Splash LP once. I'm not doing it again because it's tedious for the cards. If anything, Color Splash is the most tedious when it comes to that. Super Paper Mario, the 100% completion is not even worth it, so you don't have to worry about that. I just did it so that you don't have to, and I'm disappointed with that. I wish it would have actually rewarded you with a star on the file. That would have felt very rewarding. Just like in this game, how they give you the gold medal, but if you 100% in the original version, it doesn't give you anything. Yet again. Unless I'm wrong, it doesn't give you the gold medal. The thing called, it is called the gold medal. I'm just making sure. And then the original Paper Mario, the only reward you get for 100% completion is satisfaction. Seeing all of the good numbers. Because in Thousand Year Door, it's sort of the same, but it's not necessarily. Pretty much the first 3 Paper Mario games were just satisfaction rewards, as disappointing as that is. All of these are marked, but that means I have to play them all at once, and I don't want to do that. So this is what I wanted to see, what all of these art pieces are like, because the art pieces are always special, and I've 100%ed the game, so I wanted to see how all of this works out. It just shows the rough patch of how they imagined the entirety of things to look. and how long it took them to do all of it. I can see how it would take so long to do all of this. And you see what I mean for like when I said I was gonna express my thoughts first before I do the drawings. It's because I then would have imaginations of how long it took for everyone to do all of this. Dang, and look at that too. Like seeing the entire layout of the underground. I wouldn't have been able to do all of that. I make boards, that's it. And they even added like 2 Marios to show what it would look like in this shading versus the light. I love that. And I think that's it afterward. Just this and then that's it. Nope. I'm wrong. Goodness. This would hurt my head. But somehow I just dream of what it looks like. What is down on the left? What is that? Who is that? I mean, it looks like an unused NPC. Because it looks like a Koopa NPC with a nice hat. Odd, because that does look like a Koopa, but I don't know. I've never seen that NPC. That was an unused thing. And I think this is all random things. Wait a minute. Yeah. It's literally like I said, that Rogueport and Port Prisma almost looked identical to each other. Oh, there were 2 more. Oh, really? This is it? That is phenomenal. Oh my goodness, and just that too. What they were going to do, unless this was already a thing. That is phenomenal. That's something out of a dream. Because I remembered that kind of horoscope in my part. Then there's just that. Oh, Mario and Goombella. There's a lot here. What it originally would have looked like. For Paper Mario. Paper Mario would have originally used a fire move. Oh wait, never mind. He's holding a lava bubble. So I guess that means like he was originally going to have another partner that was a lava bubble. Something like that. Mario with X eyes, those piranha things. They did pretty well with all of the HD looks of what they would originally look like. It's like the Goombas because they look like Goombella and Frankly. I can't get it out of my head because I clipped it. If I may speak frankly. Also, that is a reference to original Paper Mario for when the Goombas like that over here. Like, I won't be able to point it out with a circle or anything because I don't want to get watermarked. And the chain jump looking at that fireball. As, yeah, like I said, phenomenal. Yeah, you wouldn't even expect much when you see the first drawing and then you see all of what was created. All of those rough patches they had to try to cover, and they managed to do very well with that. Like how Mario moves through those bushes versus what originally would have happened. Then all of those hills over here on the bottom. And their final design was, I think, the one in the third to the right. Very close. Then what the stone pipe would have looked like as well. Imagine it being like a free cam. I don't think they've done that in, like, other than the fortress climb up the tower. Imagine a free cam in a Paper Mario game, because they haven't done that in any Paper Mario game. Don't include the tower because that's not much of a free cam and more like the camera following Mario. And what I mean is like look around in a 360 scope. Oh, now you get to see what Kroop looked like in his youth. Man, he looked so cool back then. It made me wish that when he reminisced about his misses it would have just reminisced all the way back to that. That looks so cool. He looked so, I'm gonna say it, hip back then. And all of the pictures of Peach. I wonder if all those pictures over here are references to past Paper Mario genres, or if they're just what Peach is. Because I think the Parasol Peach is actually Super Paper Mario's Peach. Like, it shows how many, like, maybe it's just convenience, but it made me think of how many Paper Mario games they've made. 7. And yes, I'm including Paper Jam. Paper Mario, Bowser's Door, Super Paper Mario, Sticker Star, Color Splash. Okay, not including Paper Jam, because there's the Origami King and then Thousand Year Door again. And then the stand as well, like a game board. Yeah, because this is like a Fanatics place. That's so sweet, though. I love that. The fortress, I don't remember what it was called. Yeah, I can't remember everything in this game. Because it's been forever. What the fortress looked like and how long it took them to make that. Look how bland and white it was for their creative design. It's very cool. It just makes you imagine how long it took them to draw everything out there. I can imagine just the reason why it took so long for them is like first they draw everything and then they put it into motion. I'm still hoping that the next Paper Mario game comes out either next year or the year after that. And if the year after that, then on March. Because I'm expecting the next Paper Mario game to be like the final one before the cryptic stuff happens. All of those spikes, how they used to look versus how they look now. Because that is definitely different than how they looked in the final design. Plus the deep dive down the deep end. The entire fortress. And goodness, without the enemies there, you can definitely compliment the look of that place. Except for, it's just the stairs going up that way, and I'm pretty sure that was stairs. There was another balcony is what I was trying to say. Might be wrong. All of the stuff in the fortress, and how long it took for them to make that. What one thing was before it turned into the other thing. The top of a crate versus the top of the crate and then the entire crate, the ruined spear, all of that stuff. I'm pretty sure the special one will show how long it took everyone to make certain bosses. And this is Hooktail's room. Rough sketches of an old place that got removed. Like I'm talking about the one on the left, because that looks like a place that got removed. Imagine it being there. That would have been a cool mechanic. An old modern Petalburg, along with the old modern path that makes me think of Mount Lineland from Super Paper Mario. That's what they should do. Is like if they make Super Paper Mario, show off those drawings too, like how long it took for. How it looked in the original, along with removed enemies and stuff. Because this is awesome to look at and reminisce from. Because then I get to compliment them. Look at how Hooktail looked. Oh my goodness! These characteristics, and I think that's the end of it. My goodness, how Koops used to look. Oh, and he was terrified of swimming, I guess. And how Koops looked in his younger days. And I guess they modernized this design of him next to Koopy Koo. Or just, I think her name is actually just Koopy. Look at Hooktail! That's so funny. Like, one of them right here makes me think of that show, makes me think of a show reference that's like the mother dragon, or just a mother figure. That's what it makes me think of. but then the one on the very top is a little cartoony dragon. What originally would have been like a Yoshi-like dragon. It was like wham, and that's a Japanese thing, and then throwing a fit as well. But then they just showed that for the final design. That's funny. I love that. That's the thing I wanted to see the most. Man, that was something. That one is pretty impressive. Just shows the complete design, but I think it would show what it originally would have been. The entire layout of that tree, like all of those colors, I feel like took them so long to figure out. The tree. Look at the background of that table. It showed all of those like cutout paper pieces, and what it would. And sorry, I'm like speechless about all of this. It just shows all of what the tree would have been. An old decayed tree on the top right, and some completion on the tree patterns. Like there's a couple of them that look so close to what originally would have been. That's so cool. Or what it originally was. That tree on the top left is super close. The one on the very top makes me think of that Wisterwood figure from Paper Mario 1. The thing on the right, the bush, things like the layout of the tree and the blueprints of what it would look like in 3D. Trying to figure out all of the shapes and stuff. Just knowing this, I wouldn't be doing very well if I were drawing any of this. Flurry's place, showing what it looked like with the disco and without the disco. Mario not being on the bottom left, but still, with all of that spinning around, I'm sure that took a very long time. The bed, the sofa, and the pantry. That entire thing with the spikes and all, I don't think that took very long, but the leaves sure did, along with the bushes. Fortress, sure thing the floor took the longest, probably. Then there's the old design. Look at what they would have done for the. That's like a typical factory place over in the bottom right, and then the very small one over here. What it would have been then. Just a thing that makes me think of Super Paper Mario again from Chapter 7. Forgot what it's called. The underwear. The big forest. The big scary forest. The weird forest. Something like that. Is literally boggling. There was originally going to be, unless that's the sewers. No, that's actually a stairway. What originally would have been for the entrance. Are those munchers? No, those are birds. Over there. Goodness. They thought of a lot for the old design. What the shadows originally would have looked like. If anything, I like the purple, but these guys look a little bit more cryptic. Wow! They actually made it look like a pollen. Oh my word. That's actually cute. What it would have been. It originally would have been a bird. Or it originally would have looked like a bird. And then they ended it with a pollen design. Except for it's green and not colored in a whitish way. Whoa. I was wondering about what they thought of for Punio, and then they finally got it right. But man, it originally would have had a tail like that, a clover tail. That's cute. Especially the one underneath it to the left. So cute. And then the shadows in clown uniforms. I guess that's what they originally would have been. Instead it wouldn't even have been the shadows. It would have been the jesters, the three jesters. And then what the shadows would have originally looked like, or at least what Vivian would have looked. Ah! Oh my. Look how cute she is. I don't care if it's a trans thing. Man, I'm so speechless. All of it is so cute. Then you can definitely see like the, I don't know, transformation of what, of all the different hats that she would wear. Ah, all the same. Glad they made that design. Oh, and the elements that makes it have a lot more sense to what they do. Fire tipped hat, thunder tipped hat, and ice tipped hat. Crystal. Doesn't show that robot thing. But I can make sense of it. I don't know what would take the longest here. Probably a lot. Also, that does not say. It says something different. What does that say? Oolong Town. Or so it wouldn't have been called Glitzville. It would have been called Oolong Town. That's funny. I'm trying to read what that says. I can't zoom in any further on that. Souvenir shop? I think that's what it is. Can't read that at all. But that's funny. Oolong Town instead of Glitzville. What the blimp originally would have looked like. I think the bottom left one looks pretty cool. But it sort of makes sense why it didn't fit the design. The top right one almost looks like Sonic. Then the top left one looks literally like a balloon. You can see it reflecting. Top right, and then the bottom right one is very close to the original. Dang. All of those places. Pottery, I think, took the longest to figure out the shapes of. All of this stuff, which I'm very sure took a long time to figure out, along with angles of each thing. All of the Game Boy colors. I think that's actually every Game Boy color they had in there. The bathroom, the lockers. Didn't show the champions room, but I think they might show that. The huge cage where Grubba was containing himself so that he could become Macho Grubba. But looking at that along with all the audience chambers, surely just I'm just stating how long it would have taken for them. I'm complimenting on everything I see. What the champions room would have originally looked like versus how it looked like how it looks in the bottom right, because the bottom left is definitely not what it looked like before. Man, that would have been cool. It would have been a celebratory room for sure for when you defeated Grubba, or for at least when you defeat Rockhawk. Goodness. Then there's the original designs of everyone, like what they originally thought. Rockhawk looks very close. So does the Lakitu. Grubba looks exactly the same. Then what Yoshi would have looked like? Whoops. Look at all of that. Shows the big wigs for that guy. Oh my word, the hairstyle makes him look like makes him look like a punk almost for like the rightmost ones. Man, imagine that hairdo. That would have been epic. What I would have named him then was Spike instead of Blue. Except for that's what Sugar Conroy named the Yoshi, so I'm pretty glad I didn't do that. So yeah, with Podley and all of that, the cameraman looks very interesting. This one's gonna be interesting. What would Dupless would originally have looked like? That one is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Not really have much to say about it. Love the creepy atmosphere. Wonder how long it took for them to do the moon. All of those original styles, along with all of those shapes. Looks almost festive for one of them. Definitely sure that took Sorry again. Definitely sure that took them a long time. Creepy steeple. I love that design. That definitely, for sure, would look like it would have taken a very long time to figure out the color of that glass, but you can barely see the top of it. How it looks, man. The piranha plants look like something from from the Yoshi game. And then Dupless over there looking all freaky indeed. Dupless's room. What the original design of Dupless's room looked like versus what it looks like now. In the original, the original stairway with the lighting, but the lighting of that room. The battlefield. What it would have been on the top left. I don't think that was there. That would have been an epic battlefield for sure. It fits with the atmosphere, along with the theme. Goodness. Because I know the battlefield on the bottom left was existent. Oh, and all of the numbers showing off what it would have been. Goodness, man. What it would have been versus, I think the top left is actually what it is, but the bottom left looks so cool. And then what it would have been on the bottom right, I think, versus what it is on the top right. Or maybe that's just alternating colors. There's a head hurt again, but the old design still looks freaking cool. It looks very close this time. It looks very close to the original instead of what it originally was. I think the arrows was the only thing that got removed. Why did they remove that? That looks like something that should have stayed for the atmosphere. All of the shapes and stuff. Creepy steeple originally wouldn't have been so freaky looking. It would have looked like, sorry to say, a chapel. And then the creepy atmosphere of the forest. Oh my word, you've got to be kidding me with that. Are you serious? And then what the pigs would have been. The one on the very right is very identical. What they would have put Dupless as. Oh wait, it's showing what Flurry would have looked like and along with what Dupless would have looked like. Wait, they referenced Plants vs. Zombies here. That's why they removed it. It's because it's literally Plants vs. Zombies. And then what? And then another one of those partners that got removed as well. That bird. Was that bird also going to be the partner of Mario? That would have been so cool. The wind spirit, literally. What is that over there? That's a weird looking thing over there. But yeah, they literally made it look like a Plant vs. Zombies thing. So that's why they removed it, is because it looked like that Plants vs. Zombies thing. Then what Dupless was... Oh, he looked like a clown! Oh my goodness. Oh wow, and the Reaper scythe over there too is like, I'm doing it too, and you'll regret ever crossing me. I was trying to roll my R's, it failed. Man, and the bottom left looks very close to that chest that you deal with all those curses. It makes you think of Dementia for one of them. Almost. So he would have actually been a literal jester. That would have fit the atmosphere even better. Ship. Oh. Alright. Didn't expect it to be that. That design is gnarly. All of that. Nice. Bobbery. Wait. Oh yeah, he's drinking the cola. Is it called Chicola Cola? I think it's called that. The battlefield and the village and the layout of the places shows what the battlefield was like. Interesting. that entire place, which I'm pretty sure the only thing that would have taken them the longest was all of the decor of the caves. I have no idea, honestly. Treasure room. Cortez, I'm very sure they enjoyed drawing the. They enjoyed. Oh, maybe I'm being rhetorical here. They enjoyed the heck out of drawing Cortez. I loved Cortez, but I can see why it took. I can see how it would take them. It would take me forever to draw skeletal figures, honestly. Oh, I'll laugh if I'm thinking about what Cortez would have looked like. Because if he had an eye patch, I will laugh a lot, along with what he would have looked like as an actual being, instead of as a skeleton. Because I'm pretty sure he looked completely different as an actual being. I don't want to say person because I'm pretty sure he would be a beast instead of a person. The waves, the entire layout there, then the head hurt. There would have been a mountain here. That looks like a volcano. And the island looks very familiar. Like some typical island from an actual place. Imagine that being in a Paper Mario game. And I'm thinking of a separate series when I see that island. Then look at the bottom left. That looks cool. They would have had a tree fort too. It would have been a lot more welcoming for the survival thing. What the ship was, and how long it took them to make that. What the cave originally would have looked like. Whatever is on this one over here. I think it's like the plannings of what originally would have been. Then this thing over here. I have no idea what that is. I somehow thought, is that a cat? What is that? It looks like a cat almost. Imagine them adding cats in a Paper Mario game. It's pretty much did. Well, Bobbery originally. Oh man, they didn't put Cortez in this. Ah! Wait a minute. Wait a minute here. He would have been a toad. Flavio would have been a toad. You really? And I bet he wouldn't have been named Flavio then. Goodness. I'm sorry. Can't figure out any new phrasings other than goodness, man. Then what Bobbery looked like in his youth versus how he looks now. Wow. Definitely grown something. Meaning in terms of a wheel. What he originally would have looked like. Oh, there it is again. They enjoyed themselves with that drawing, did they? They enjoyed drawing a bomb in a jester's hat. But an XI to make him look captain-y. Made him look tough in the Viking hat. What, a Viking bomb? A French bomb? A military bomb? Makes sense. I don't know what that is. And then a captain. Wait, that would have been from Paper Mario 1. Right? No. I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Never mind. Oh my word. Just the original colorings, but Flavio would have been a toad. I would have been disappointed if he was a toad. That's why I'm glad his design looks like that now. Unless apparently he's a toad, but I heavily doubt it. I think that's an actual like person. I think that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. Darn it. I was really hoping they would show Flavio there. Train. Still pretty cool. Still pretty dang cool. Is that what they originally would have made for the design? Or is that how long it took them to figure out the transitions? And then the original colors of the train. I guess I don't know if that was the original color before, but it's admirable to see. A lantern. I don't think they had that. That would have been cool to see. Day cycles. That was the original. Day cycles here. Pretty sure. I wonder what chapter took them long to draw, if not the final one. The wavy sun with the station. The original design will hurt my head so much because of all of this atmosphere stuff. Possibly Heights. Look at that tower. And you can literally see hotel on here. It's a Japanese logo, but yeah, it says hotel. You can see it. Top right, but it says all of the houses along with the hotel. Oh no, this is gonna hurt my head. This is gonna like hurt my eyes on the next picture. I know it. Top left, bottom left, the battlefield, and the designs of all of the numbers. I knew it. Now let's see if there's like original things here to think of. It's not a lot here. Yeah, there are some things here that they would have added in. I wonder if they, because I'm thinking it was not added in, and yet it looks so close to it being there. A suitcase. Mario waiting by a clock. And they didn't add that. An original house that was not added in. An original... Is that a mansion? No, that's a train station. Like a train station building. That would have been nuts. Then the original Poshley Heights. Wow. Oh no. Oh no, the s'mores. How did I forget about the s'mores? Oh, but they didn't even put the s'mores in, right? Wait a minute. What? I forgot. Oh, Ratatouille, right? Ratatouille would have looked so cute back then. The detective. I'm not bothering to remember the name. The Zip Toad would have been a Blue Toad originally. The Bomb family, that doesn't look much different. The chef, and then the gourmet. Chef would have had hair as a fish, nonetheless. He would have looked like a rich dude. Of course, it is the point. The Ghost Toad looks so cute, honestly. Along with, I'm gonna just call you. I'm not gonna call you anything. I don't remember your name, so I'm just gonna say oh yeah, your name was Toodles. That's it, right? Pretty sure. Yeah, they didn't put Smorg in it, so instead they just showed every NPC there. Oh wow. The techie room, the town, the cannon. The insides. Is that a bedroom of the captain? Like what it originally would have been? Or is that one of the bedrooms? The inn. Wow! Look at all of that. Oh my word, that would have been even cooler on the bottom right. At least I think so. I love how it looks on the top, and I love how it looks on the bottom left. It looks so military based. That's what they were going for, but yet they removed it. Removes all of that. I'm pretty sure. And it just looks original. It's still freaking cool though. Showing off the cannon like that, I would have screamed if I saw it like that off screen. Oh my word. Yeah, you can see a long design on the moon. It's the moon. The moon on the left looks very close to the original, I think. The battlefield looks cool. And then it's just all of the plans on how the battlefield works. Goodness. I can't help but say goodness all the time. Oh man. The factory exterior. You didn't even see that before. What it would have looked like. Along with an unexplorable cage over here. Wow. It's not factory. As long as all those piranhas and all of those are the same. Text room. I wonder how long it took them to make all of those dots and lines. Ah! Light! A pit. Is that a pit? No, that's a door. Well, that kind of design is sort of a thing to be glad to that they didn't put in, unless that's covered in snow. But still, originally there would have been a moon hanging over the horizon, with the Shivers town, whatever it was called, the pit opening and the bomb was like, oh. The original military base. The original buildings, which would have been interesting nonetheless. Or no, that's another military base, like an area number. I'm going to say area 32 or something like that. Another. Wow. Wait. Good. I can't figure out my words. I am speechless. I can jumble up my words to describe what I'm seeing. Oh my goodness. Wait, that's Merlin. Oh my. No. They're showing Miss Mouse. Well, she looks so cute. Oh no. Oh, look at this dude. He looks even weirder. I don't even remember his name. I'm so glad. Miss Mouse looked like that. Slick as a thief. But she originally looked so freaking cute. She looked like a charmer. Look at those ears. Heart ears. Oh my word. And then there would have been a Monty Mole NPC. But instead it ended up being Piantas. Thank you for that. Because if there was a Monty Mole NPC, that would have been saddening. But imagine that. He only did in one game. Merlovely looks pretty cryptic. Merlin. If only Merlot was still in there. Or the son of Merlin, whatever his name was. If his name wasn't Merlot. Lake has a thief and yet so cute. You know, take a picture of that. Because that's something I'm definitely showing. That's that. Now let's see how haunting this will be. Because final chapters are usually that way. I think that's like... The bottom left is like very close to the original. And then the top left looks like something that they would have shown a realistic portion of. But I can't tell on the other ones. The whole background of that. I think I saw that on the very end and I was like, oh, I'm not going to spoil myself anymore. I want to see the rest later on. The lighting. Oh, it's like you're actually inside instead of outside somewhere. Like still inside a palace and yet it looks like you're outside or something like that. Like some sort of dark city. The observatory is why I'm calling that. It's about the heroic observatory, showing all of the Mario positions, and how long that would have taken is beyond me. I will say it in the best way possible, Shadow Queen's crypt. That would have been awful to see. It would have looked so... It would have looked... Screw it. So evil. So dark. So negative. In the way. If you think of Balatro, that's the thing to discuss it as. Along with what the Shadow Queen looked like in the top right. A hovering head. Ugh. Battlefield, along with Battlefield plans as usual. The Shadowlands. Man, look at the layout of those hands. And how long it took for them to make that.
Shadowlands?
Shadow hands.
Shadow hands.
Also, I'm going to show my brother this real quick. Showing how cute Miss Mouse used to look. Would have looked, I mean... Miss Mouse right here.
Oh. Huh.
Like, no, you want to see real quick Hooktail as well. Hooktail looks so cartoony. What?
Quickly.
Okay, here.
Oh,
Look at this one.
what in the world?
Looks like a mother dragon.
That looks like a cross between a dragon and Goofy.
That's a weird thing to think of. Makes me think of Deltarune almost. Anyway, going back to it. Now here comes the head hurt. Ooh, the observatory. But this time they're just watching. Is this gonna be like the original looks of how it would have been? Because I definitely see that here. So it looks like some sort of tool instead of a sort of observatory. And then what the observatory would have looked like. And that too. I think that's like the original look of the outside of that tower. Looks very close to Castle Black. What the original design of the ruins would have looked like. Would have definitely looked like ruins. But instead it made it look so polished, despite how long it's been. Along with all of those vines growing around it in the bottom right corner. Over there. Windows. What the heck is that? And now for this. She would have looked awesome! She wouldn't have even looked like a Shadow Queen. Oh, and it shows Grotus. Oh, wait, not Grotus. Oh my goodness! Lord Crump? Is this what Lord Crump would have looked like? One of them almost makes me think of Smee from, you know, Peter Pan. He looks like a kid instead, except for the bottom left. He looks almost like Cackletta. Is that why they removed this? Because they made you think of Cackletta too much? That would have been hard to see in the ski mask. He looks like he's ready to go skiing instead of being a villain. But then the X-Naw over there, which I think is also Crump, looks like an X-Naw in the Jester outfit. Now is that Grotus or the Shadow Queen? I think that's Grotus. No, that's a Shadow Queen. Just look at how. Oh wait, that is. I can't tell anymore. Is that Grotus? That looks cool. Like I can't tell if that's Grotus or the Shadow Queen. I think that's actually Grotus. And so it looks like them both mixed in. Makes me think of Kirby for some odd reason because of Queen Sectonia. The eyes, they look almost the same. He's just sort of unsettled on how she looks. Man, and one makes me think of Pokemon because it looks like Frostlass. That is so cool. Then the special looks. Mario's house. Mario's house in the... Oh, this was the thing I saw in the end. Because I was curious about what they meant by special. But one looks like Super Paper Mario's house. The one on the top left almost looks like Paper Mario. And then that one is just a modern. The inside too. All of the switches outlooks. There would have been... Oh, there is actually. There are those switches. It looks like a control pad. I wonder if that was what they were thinking when they saw the drawing, just the outlook of what the cubes would have been, along with the mechanism of how the switch works. Blocks, chests, trampolines, along with the layout of how the trampolines work with the spring patterns. Shine blocks, showing how the shines go into block, along with heart blocks, how they go in there. What the coins would have looked like, versus how they look now. You can see the classic coin that turns into a more new version of a coin. Save block, item blocks. Shows the item blocks for what happens if you hit them. POW block, what happens if you hit a POW block. And then the medallion of Mario. I think it was like showing the original rotation. C looks plainly like paper, but B looks very close. Shy Guy pulling the cord. Because that was an added thing. They didn't do that in the original. That's what the special is. What is that? The thing that Mario's next to. Wait, is that the prop? How the machine works? That is the machine. Bowser's Castle. The bottom left wouldn't have been very good because look at the lava. The one on the top right looks very close. The bottom right would have been even cooler. The top left looks like the original, but the bottom left doesn't. It just looks more grim. Bowser Bros shows Bowser's face. Just looks a bit more chubby for him, but yeah, I think that's actually how he looked. The original design of the Thousand Year Door, over on the top left, and just figuring out all of the designs there, and then how it looks in the bottom right is very close. And I think that was like a beta test for the developers to see how things would have gone. Is that it? No. The house? What is that again? Oh, that's Professor Peasley's place. But back then, Peasley would have been... No, that's not Peasley. What is that? Is that Professor Peasley's place? I don't think so. That's a house, but in the open instead. It just looks like something from Pellberg. I think that's Koops's place. Mario's house again. A house that looks very unique. A toad hiding over there. I think it's just to test something there. Interesting. The bridge, I almost said glass. I didn't know if grass was the right word, so I almost said glass. The original design, wow, of the Paper Mario stuff. Just how little bit of difference it was. And it looks very classy. I love it. That's the thing. I love how classy it looks. Is that Hooktail over there? Huh. And yeah, it's resting in that tower. But Bowser looks exactly the same. That's the cool thing. They knew how to draw Bowser in pretty well. Kammy Koopa, Mario, oh, that makes sense. Why now is because it's pretty much exactly as is. Except for Hooktail was like a shadow, silhouette kind of deal. Ooh, oh wow. The original 3 heroes. And along with whoever this is that they didn't put in. So it's like the design of Paper Mario. Then Paper Mario with a hammer. The Toads. I wonder if this would have been Prince Mush, but they removed it. Or if it would have been an extra fighter in the arena. Along with the Toad that I think is either an artist or a sage. I think it's some sort of like elder Toad that knows a lot. Or no, that's a move tutor. That's it. All of that is the move tutor. What they originally would have made him look like. But instead, it's just a purple toad that looks nearly like the one on the top right. And originally, you would have had to battle him. That's interesting. Because the bottom right toad looks like the master from Paper Mario 1. The 3 heroes. Bootler, the Koopa, and the Goomba. The 3 musketeers in the term of the 3 heroes. It's all said in the original Paper Mario. And that's it. Sort of sad because I was hoping they would show Bone Tail, but they didn't. They didn't show what Bone Tail would have looked like. Oh, that's that. Now, I'll be showing off the boss battles. Well, figures on that. During the Piv on the Trials part of the boss battles, and this is shown after the art reaction, I got this again. Spoiler alert, on the Piv on the Trials, I used up a life stream for this guy, Coops. But, lo and behold, I got another one. Forgot to save after that Prince Mush battle, and I wanted nostalgic tunes for Rogueport because that's better than the other one. It feels more mellowed out if it's the original. So that's what I'm doing. The nostalgia version. That was that was sort of disappointing. You wanna know why that was disappointing? Because I thought that I was gonna get something from him, but instead I got nothing, just a star point. I thought I was gonna get 1 star point, but instead it was just 1 star point pity. So even Rogueport won't give me any star points. The only one that will is Prince Mush and Wacka and the Amazing Daisies. But enemy-wise, just the Amazing Daisies. So if I defeated Prince Mush once I had 98 star points, then the next time I level up, Prince Mush won't give me any either. And the only one that will is Wacka and the Amazing Daisies. Anyways, that's that for me. I'll come back later on, going back to Rogueport. If anything, I won't even bother, but I am going to just save in Rogueport. So, I'll see you guys in a moment. And I'll turn the nostalgic tunes off while I'm on cut. This is the thing I can never get about Prince Mush. I could have sworn when he moved side to side he dodged my hammer. I can never get whether it's side to side that he dodges to the side or up and down. It never makes sense to me. Figures it's 2.
Oh my, I'm as bright as the sun.
Now here's the funny thing. And this is recorded on a different day, but the bonus part is going to be recorded on the day after, meaning all of the stuff before this. I managed to once again encounter the Amazy Daisies and got this many star points, but that along with some other stuff. So I might as well show off these. This one was just a funny thing. First was Bay, and then it was what happened at the end, at the very end. Yes, this. It says baby. I've never had that happen before. At least, I don't think I have. And then this was just funny because I clipped the power smash on that kind of thing. Then here, it wasn't this. Though I got the pretty lucky P from this guy. That along with another badge. I'm trying to remember why I clipped this. I'm gonna see. I think it's because of the item or something. No? I don't remember why I clipped this. Was it just because of the pretty lucky P? That one is just it's just whatever. I don't remember. I don't remember what it was. And I just clipped it like a few minutes ago, but somehow I still don't remember what it was. So yeah, that's that. So this is the last boss I'm showing, which is funny to me because I have battled against this. What I was going to say was, this is recorded on the 26th of October, but the thing prior to it will be recorded on the day after or something. It will be confirmed in the beginning. So this is the final one I'm showing before I do the arts. the arts showing, like before I do the showing off of the arts, but mainly I'm doing the showing off of the arts, bosses, and then the OSTs. That was said for me more than for you because I say it in the beginning as well. So, doing this without commentary this time because originally I did it with. You already know what this guy's deal is, but I am going to show that I got 60 BP and used it for the Pretty Lucky P and the Lucky Day. Willing to get some luckies, which is going to be hilarious for the upcoming battles in the future. Plus, the Pit of the Trials, when I encountered the Amazy Daisies, beforehand, the Elite Wizards were the only ones that gave star points. But after I leveled up, they no longer did. So now the only enemies that would give star points in the future are the Amazy Daisies. And how much the Amazy Daisies gave each were 41. So that means that the higher the level, the less star points they give. And I think the Amazy Daisies will give 40 instead. I'm Wacka. You sure traveled a long way to see me. It sure is nice to have some company. Whack-hoo, yakadoo, wick, wick, whack, yahoo! You won't get a golden wacka bump from this guy, just to make sure. Because I have it already, hence why I have this costume on.
Seems like I'm gonna get another level up soon.
Oh, wait. I lost again, but that was fun. You sure are strong. Wait, you can get these now? Like every time you defeat him, you get a whack-a bump? That's actually pretty surprising. I didn't think he would give you anything. But instead your backup prize is a whack-a bump. That was fun. Let alone I took some risks. And that risk gave me a better thing too. Mainly I just gave him like I gave Koops the chance for a life shroom, hence why I didn't use the boost cheat the second time until I decided to risk it and just give him the boost cheat while the power lift was up. So that was why I did it that way. Still gonna save because goodness I got another level up which I didn't expect. I have 96 star points, which means I'm gonna be able to get another level up. Worst thing is I'm going to do for the next increase I'm going to do FP instead of HP because as you see I still use more FP than usual, mainly more FP than HP. That's what I meant by that. So now I'm going to cut again, mainly because I say that, but for me it's my first cut on here. But that was crazy. For one thing as well, I wanted to do the pivot on the trials first because that one took me, like on your front, it will not be the first one to see for you to see. But why I wanted to do it first on my part is because it takes the longest to go through the piv on the trials. Wanted to do that first before doing everything else. The art reaction, and then battling the bosses backwards on my part, but for you guys it will be me battling against Rockhawk first, Prince Mush second, and this guy last. But for me it was Wacko first, Prince Mush second, and Rockhawk last, mainly because of it being convenient for the HP part for one, but for the other mainly because it was whatever took the longest first. Because it took me the longest to get to Wacka, so I'm doing that. And I didn't want to battle against Rockhawk before Prince Mush because Prince Mush is actually really hard. Well, Rockhawk is just easy, and I'm doing double pain on him only. So that's that. See you guys in a moment. I'm back now to end it before I do the OSTs. So, I hope you enjoyed it because this was everything I thought of showing off in the term of the 1,000-Year Doors bonus part. All of my thoughts, all of my reactions to the drawings, how cute everything looked, along with how funny all of them would have been, and that along with just everything else, just the entire series in general. Because LP wise, I didn't want to bore anyone too much with the arcade stuff. Honestly, I still like Super Paper Mario's arcade, and the reason I kept doing the arcade in Super Paper Mario was to try to reach level 100 in Hammer Whacker. Because I've only done it once, off screen, and I never was able to show it on screen, which bummed me out so much. I wanted to show it. That's the reason I did it, but it's also because Super Paper Mario's arcade, to me, is the most fun in the game. Plus, it gives you Wacka bumps without having to hurt Wacka. So, yeah, that's the end of the bonus part of 1,000-Year Door. Well, I would probably not LP this game again, but in terms of actually playing through it, I might, but I don't know for sure. Because how many times I've played through this game now, surprise, surprise, is only twice. I've played through it the first time off screen and the second time here. Because I sort of wanted to, try to surprise myself with how much I had yet to get. So, there you have it. Said everything on my thoughts, and I've shown off every boss, and in my opinion, did not expect to do so badly and forget so much. But there I was forgetting to save and having not been level 38. And I know that would bother the heck out of you, but what I would have picked if I was level 38 was FP again. Because I feel like I have enough HP. And it's because I feel like FP would have been perfect. That's the thing as well. I should have added that to my favorites. Is that they didn't limit how much HP and FP you can get. Which I think how much HP and FP would have gotten was like 100. And that would have been the max. Then BP I think would have been 90. Or 99. I have no idea. Maybe it was 99 HP, FP, and BP. Even though BP is like the hardest to get the maximum of. And if you try to go for BP only, you would definitely make up for in terms of HP plus and FP plus. And that would be like a chosen thing, like a roguelike. So, yeah. And the next bonus part I would show is of Brothership. Before I show Kirby and the Forgotten Lands bonus part. When this is uploaded for all of you, you already know, is the 15th of November. Sorry to say, but it's like in case I post it on November, because I've pretty much said this a lot, 5 days before two things happen. One, the thing I might as well state before the other, the 5 days before a new version of Wuthering Waves comes out. 2, 5 days before Kirby Air Riders comes out. And honestly, I'm sort of excited for it. So, see you guys in whatever next video I upload, which I'm certain is still Brothership. I'm certain I'm very close to completing it.